All right, Texas Motorplex, here comes John Force on one side and Matt Hagan on the other. Doesn't get a whole lot bigger than this until we get to the fair behind us. The Peak Chevrolet with Cornwell tools, BlueDEF, Monster Energy, Power Solar, NK Seed, and Hagan driving for the Dodge Power Broker. Matt Hagan, who is part of the new this year Tony Stewart Racing Team. And if we have any NASCAR fans here, and I'm sure we do, certainly know Smoke from when he was on that side of the fence, or IndyCar, Sprint car, anything else he did. There's an interesting story that came out just yesterday. And they asked him about NHRA versus NASCAR, and he said, I'm having so much fun over on the NHRA side. That the atmosphere over there is friendly. I love the people that are over there and really am and have been enjoying my time. The Dodge Power Broker came with Hagan, multiple-time champion in his class. His crew chief, Dickie Venables, who I was talking about earlier, who is a real hold my beer and watch this kind of tuner. Of course, John Ford's working with Danny Hood and Tim Fabrizi, the winningest driver ever. He just keeps adding to that total.
Yeah, and he's fourth in points right now, but he's only won one race this year. It's not the John Force we're typically watching win 4, 5, 6 races in a year, but he's had a consistent enough car, a lot of late round finishes, and then you go to the countdown reset, they bunch the points right back up. He's right in the thick of another championship battle.
Yeah, let's figure out which car John brought, because he really, the first qualifying run kind of sets the tone for the weekend. They've had weeks when they come out here and set track. Records a week when he started 13. They brought the hot rod. 3.907. Hey, Texas Motorplex, what do you think of 331 miles an hour for John?
It's showtime.
Thanks for joining me today at Slot Valley Racing. For those who don't know, my name is Dan, and I want to thank you for joining me today on Top Fuel and Funny Car Friday. Unbelievable! We push forward. Before we get moving, I'd like to thank you all for joining me. I'd like to thank all my subscribers. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. I'd like to thank all my fans.
I felt like I was on a spaceship, and I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your side. Yeah, great.
Well, we were real happy with what was going on, and at the end of the day, you got to be happy.
In the past week, it has been absolutely amazing. I have the best fans in the world, and that's why I'm back. I just couldn't stay away. I don't care what's going on anymore. It's all about slot cars. Are you ready? Are you in? Here we go. Thanks for joining me today at Slot Valley Racing, where today we're looking at the John Force BlueDEF Funny Car. NHRA style. All this and more today on Slot Valley Racing. Get your heart racing. All right, here we are. We're going to have a look at the John Force BlueDEF NHRA Funny Car. HO style, of course. It's on an Auto World 4-gear chassis. These cars look absolutely fantastic. Auto World has done a great job with these. These look really good, and the best news is the hop-up parts have arrived, and it's time to do a live feed. But today we're looking at the number 1 release. In release 24, it is the John Force Peak BlueDEF NHRA Funny Car. Let's get into this. But before we do, as usual, let's have a look at the packaging. Okay, so here we go. Take a look at the front. Of course, it's an Auto World product, and it is a 4-gear on the 4-gear chassis. This is one of those little cardboard cutout emblems. Absolutely fantastic. I think it's kind of cool. And it, of course, is the Peak BlueDEF John Force Racing NHRA funny car. Looks great. Let's go to the back. Okay, so here we are at the back. It's the 4-gear Auto World once again. There's 4 funny cars in this release of 24. The number 1 car in release 24 is the John Force Peak Def NHRA funny car. The number 2 car is the Matt Hagen Mopar NHRA funny car. The number 3 car is the Robert Height Auto Club NHRA funny car. And the car number 4 is Ron Capps Pennzoil Napa NHRA funny car. And we'll be having a look at each of those as they all run through my house. All right, so let's get into this. Oh, out of sight. Oh, if you guys don't own one of these, all I could say is this looks absolutely fantastic. This is so amazing looking up close. Wow. Y'all know how I feel about Auto World products, but when they put out a product that looks as fantastic and spectacular, really is stellar would be a good word. These cars look fantastic, unbelievable. The lettering on the tires, all the decals right down to the small ones. Of course, we got the driver, John Force. Amazing. Wow, I think you'd agree with me that this car is absolutely, the livery on this car, the decal, the lettering on the tire, this car is spot on. Unbelievable. Auto World has done a really good job. What we're looking at here, of course, is the John Force Peak BlueDEF NHRA funny car. It's car number 1 in release 24. Car number 2 is Matt Hagen. It's the Mopar car. It's NHRA funny car as well. Car number 3 is Robert Height with the Auto Club NHRA funny car. And car number 4 in release 24 is the Ron Capps Pennzoil Napa NHRA funny car. Today, of course, we're looking at the John Force Peak BlueDEF funny car. This car is on the 4-gear chassis. The 4-gear chassis is known to be a slow chassis and not very well built. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and ordered some hop-up parts, and the hop-up parts have arrived. So we'll start the hop-up series with just simply doing a few magnet switch outs. We'll be changing out the motor magnets. We'll be putting in some Pro 7s and Pro 10s. And at a later date, we'll be looking at changing the armature and maybe screwing around with some gearing. But for now, I also bought some S1 soft compound rubber. Grab a little more traction to the track. The part number for the John Force Peak BlueDEF NHRA funny car is SC352. As I carry...
Family firm. Oh, son of a...
As I carry on the building of my drag strip, it's taken me a little bit longer than I had expected with the drag strip, but have no fear, these cars will run down it when it's time to go. Yeah, I've been waiting a long time for these hop-up parts. They finally arrived. The cars are ready. They certainly look fantastic. So what I've done is I've ordered 2 pairs of each. I'm going to hop up 2 4-gear chassis with the Pro 7s, and I'll hop up 2 with the Pro 10s. Now, the last time I ran Pro 10s on a regular motor, it didn't turn so well. So I do have an upside to it. I can put it on the dyno, and I think that's what we'll be doing. I'll be putting them on the dyno first, and then we'll hop them up and we'll see what they look like. Thanks for joining me today for Top Fuel and Funny Car Friday. For those that don't know, my name is Dan, and I want to thank you all for joining me today in the look at this John Force NHRA funny car. It's the Peak BlueDEF John Force funny car. It's an Auto World 4-gear dragster funny car. So in the background, you can see the number 3 car in release 24. It's the Robert Height Auto Club NHRA funny car. It will be next for Top Fuel and Funny Car Friday. And of course, we'll also be reviewing the number 4 car, Tommy Johnson Jr. It's an NHRA funny car. It's all coming up on Top Fuel and Funny Car Fridays. Thanks for joining me today at Slot Valley Racing. For those who didn't find this educational, I hope you found it entertaining. These cars are fantastic, and I'm glad I can join, and I'm glad you all can join me as well. I want to thank all my fans. I want to thank everybody for watching this video. You guys are the greatest. I can't say more than enough, other than thanks for watching. And don't forget, get your heart racing.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep. You want to go do
Slot cars in the garage?
Yep.
I'll be back.